Hi, I'm Brenda Quintana coming to you from the Beehive at cubiesquest.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make these adorable baskets using the basket weave embossing folder that is part of the Blooming Basket bundle. This bundle is free with a $100 order from Stampin' Up. These baskets are a slightly different version of a basket that I showed you 2 weeks ago. So for a side-by-side comparison, here is the new basket, which is taller and has kind of a more rounder finish to the top. And the one I showed you how to make a few weeks ago was a little shorter and had a more rectangular or oval shape. This little basket is great for holding little Easter eggs. The new basket is better for holding Easter eggs like a Cadbury Easter cream egg. It could also hold a normal chicken egg if you wanted to have regular eggs at breakfast for your Easter brunch. The thing that makes these baskets so cool is the basket weave embossing folder, and you can see the texture on here. And then we're also going to be using the cable knit embossing folder for the handle. I'm going to show you how to make these baskets from start to finish. So let's get started. To start off with, we're going to do some scoring. So I'm going to need my Simply Scored scoring board, and I'm going to need a piece of cardstock. I'm using Pool Party cardstock here. I've cut this piece to 6.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and I'm going to put one of the 3.5 inch sides up at the top of my board, and I'm going to score at the 1.5 inch mark. Then I'm going to turn my piece a quarter turn to the right, and I want the shorter segment facing up towards the top. We're going to score this piece a little differently than you would normally score a piece of cardstock. We're going to score only part way down to this first score line here. So at the 1.5 inch mark, you're just going to score part way. At the 3 inch mark, part way. At the 4.5 inch mark, part way, and finally at the 6 inch mark you're going to go all the way down. Then you're going to need your Big Shot, and I'm going to use the regular platform that came with my machine, and I don't need this thin die adapter piece, so you can set this aside. We're just going to be working off the base platform because that's what we'll use for embossing. You're going to need the piece that you just scored and the basket weave embossing folder. We are going to be embossing this big segment right here that doesn't have score lines on it, and I'm going to be putting that in the side of my embossing folder. So let me open up the embossing folder. You'll want the word Sizzix to face up to the top, and I'm going to be placing this in the side. I'm going to be lining up my pattern with this score line here, and you can see down here these scored segments are going to stick outside the embossing folder. So the pattern starts about 1/4 inch in from the embossing folder. So you can line that line up with this little line right here. This skinny segment is going to stick outside of the embossing folder. The other thing you're going to line up is the end of the embossing folder is going to come right along this scored edge right here. Also, make sure that your cardstock lines up with the pattern. If it's crooked, you should be able to see that immediately. So once this looks good, you're going to place this right on your platform. This is an extra thick embossing folder, so we're only going to be using one cutting plate. I'm going to put this on top right here, and then we'll run it through. So when I take it out, you'll see that this big segment without the score lines now has the embossed basket weave on it, and these tabs at the bottom are free, and you've got this little side segment right here that isn't embossed. Now we just need to emboss the handle. And for that, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 6 inches by 1/2 inch, and you're going to need your cable knit embossing folder. I'm going to line up my little strip of cardstock up along one of the cables, and when that looks good, I'm going to put it back down on my base platform. This embossing folder is also one of our thick embossing folders, so you're only going to need one cutting plate. Put that on top and then run it through. And then when you take it out, you're going to be left with this perfect woven piece that looks just like a handle. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut up along these bottom tab pieces just till you hit the score line or the embossed section. So just cut up till you hit the score line in between those 4 tabs. And then when you get to this end piece, you're going to cut up to the corner, and then you're going to cut this little end piece away right here. So this is what it looks like. You can see the individual tabs down here at the bottom. Then you're going to curl this piece a little bit with your fingers. So just curl it just a little bit. It should come really quite easily. You're also going to fold these bottom tabs down. This time, I'm not going to be folding this side tab along the score line. I find that the basket will have a rounder finish if I don't fold along this score line. Then I'm going to take some Tombow multi-purpose glue and put it on the side tab first. Like that. Then I'm going to bring my piece together, turn it into kind of a circular cylindrical piece, and just make sure you line your piece up along that score tab. Make sure it's even along the top, and then just hold this down for a few seconds so those fibers can bond together. Then you're going to turn this over to the bottom, and you're going to put Tombow along one of the bottom squares, and then you're going to fold it down. You're going to take the tab that's opposite it and fold it on top of it. Then make sure you just kind of seal it down with your fingers. Then you're going to put Tombow on the bottom again, and take either one of the side tabs and put it down. Hold that down for a few seconds, and then you just got one last tab to do. Put some Tombow one more time down there, and then bring this together to form the bottom. Now you can put this on your surface and use your fingers to really seal that bottom together. So the cool thing about this basket is it has a circular top and a square bottom. So that kind of makes the whole basket look circular. Now we just need to attach the handle, and I'm going to put Tombow on the bottom 1/2 inch of the handle, and then I'm going to attach it to the inside of my basket. You'll want to hold it down for at least a few seconds to make sure that those fibers can bond together. Then I'll come around to the other side of the handle, put Tombow on the bottom 1/2 inch of that one, bend it, and bring it around to the side, and then just hold that down for a few seconds. You can shape the handle a little bit with your fingers to give it that rounded look. And there is the base of the basket. Now I'll show you how I decorate it. For the front, I'm going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay Ink Pad, open it up, and I'm going to take a flower from the Flower Shop stamp set. I've put 2 little Sharpie marks on the foam of my flower so that I can tell which end is up, so that when I use the punch, I'll know that I've stamped it the right way so that the punch fits it perfectly. You can do this with your stamps too. You'll just need to do some trial and error and figure out which way is up, and then mark your own stamp that way. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it on my Whisper White piece. And then I'm going to take my pansy punch, open it up, and because I marked my flower, this should fit into the punch perfectly so that it's aligned properly. When I like how that's aligned, I'm going to punch it. Then I'm going to take the Lemon Builder punch because I want to use this little leaf right here. I'm going to open it up And I'm going to take a scrap piece of wild wasabi cardstock and bring it in here from the side and punch out this leaf. Then I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the stem of my leaf. And I'm going to add it to the side of the flower like that. Then I'm going to take a pearl jewel. I'm going to take one of the largest ones, put it on the end of my paper piercing tool, and I'm going to add that to the center of my flower like that. Then I'm going to take a Stampin' Dimensional and put it on the back of the flower and just add it to the front of the basket with the top of the flower just coming just above the rim of the basket. So then just to add a little filler to the basket, I'm going to use some of the Sweet Soiree Ready Shreddie, and I'm going to use the white so that way it all kind of coordinates. So I'll just grab a little bit of it and place it inside my basket. Then you can take whatever you like to put inside it. I'm going to use a Cadbury caramel egg. Then you can just add that to the inside of the basket. And there you go, the little Easter basket is now done in a different way so it can accommodate different chocolates. I think these would look really cute on your Easter table or to hand out to friends and family during the Easter holiday. All the supplies you'll need to make these sweet Easter baskets are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now. If you like this tutorial, be sure to check out all the free with purchase tutorials available on my blog. The birdhouse tutorial is just one of the exclusive tutorials that you can choose free with a minimum purchase in my Stampin' Up! Store. Hi, it's Brenda again. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also visit my blog for more information on my projects and to learn about my rewards program, or just watch another one of my videos. Thanks for watching.